Today's story is about payday, not whether workers got paid, but whether they got paid on time. This is the story of Vega versus CM and Associates Construction Management LLC. The year was 2021, and the issue centered on New York labor law that many people had probably never even heard about. Under New York law, many manual workers, people doing physical labor, were supposed to be paid every single week, not every 2 weeks, weekly. A construction worker named Vega worked for a company called CM and Associates Construction Management. But instead of paying workers weekly, the company paid them every 2 weeks. Now here's the important part. The workers still eventually received all of their money. The company argued, no wages were stolen, everyone got paid. So why was this even a lawsuit? Welcome to Once Upon a Case, because the law isn't just for lawyers, it's for everyone. Because the workers argued that the law itself required weekly pay, and violating that rule should have consequences. The company disagreed. They argued that workers should only recover damages if they actually lost unpaid wages. In other words, if employees eventually got all their money, what's the harm? The case eventually reached the New York's highest court, the New York Court of Appeals, and the court sided with the workers. The judges said the weekly pay requirement mattered. Even if employees eventually received all wages owed, employers would still be liable for violating the law by paying too late. The court explained that timing matters because workers often depend on regular paycheck to cover rent, food, transportation, and bills. For many workers, waiting an extra week can create real hardship. And here's what made the case especially important. The workers could potentially recover damages even though they eventually got paid. Employers could still face penalties, interest, attorney's fees, and other financial consequences simply for paying workers later than the law allowed. The decision shocked many employers because it opened the door to large lawsuits involving payroll timing violations. The case became one of the most talked about wage law decisions in New York employment law. And it showed something important. Sometimes, in the law, when you get paid can matter just as much as whether you get paid at all. And that's the story of Vega versus CM and Associates Construction Management. Thank you for watching. If you like this story, follow along for more. See you on the next one.